Hi, welcome back to New England Fire Cooking. I'm Aaron Higgins, and today I have some really awesome looking American Wagyu Manhattan fillets. I got these from Snake River Farms. And I'm gonna show you how I cook this on my cast iron. I'm not gonna put something like this on the grill. There's so much marbling in there. We just caught so much flare-ups, and I really don't wanna burn these at all. So the first thing I wanna do is I wanna get this Wagyu seasoned. So to season these, I'm gonna use a really simple seasoning. You really wanna taste the beef flavor in these steaks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season with this, and this is just a 50-50 mixture of coarse ground black pepper and kosher salt. Right, and now what I want to do is I want to let these hang out and come up to room temperature before we get cooking them. So as you can see, my cast iron pan's nice and hot. I just dialed back on the gas just a little bit, and I did put a little bit of butter down. Not much at all. And I'm going to get these bad boys on. I'm going to throw this thyme in too. Now we're gonna let these roll. I'm actually gonna be temping these with a thermometer today. A piece of Wagyu like this, you really don't wanna leave the chance. It's gonna be going by internal temp, and I'm gonna be pulling them out when they temp internal, the very center, right at 140. Okay, you guys, I just gave these steaks a flip on both sides, and now I'm gonna start paying attention to internal temperature. Okay guys, I just temped these, and they're not quite there yet, but one thing I do like to do, and this will speed up cooking time, plus it makes your steak look a little nicer, is I like to sear the sides. Got a really good crust going on top and the bottom, and I'd like to build that a little bit on the sides if I can. Makes your steak look nicer for one, and secondly, it gives you more of that nice beefy crust that you like on the outside of the steak. Okay, so these Manhattan fillets smell amazing. They just came off a minute ago. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these rest for at least 15 minutes. Okay, you guys, I got the foil off of these steaks, and I gotta tell you, it took a lot longer for these to come up to temperature. These are really, really thick. Let me tell you, it helped a lot searing the sides here, brought them up to temperature quicker. And I am going to cut right into this bad boy here. I'm gonna go dead center, this biggin. Let's see how he did. See how this cuts. You wouldn't believe how tender this is, and that's looking like a pretty good medium to me. I pulled these off right around 137 degrees, and now I get to try me some of this. Let's cut this slice off right here. Look at that beautiful steak. Can't wait to get into this. Okay, you guys, so I just cut off a nice slice of this American Wagyu Manhattan filet. I'm gonna keep that together. And before I dive into this, let's do a really quick run through of what we did. We had some American Wagyu Manhattan fillets, and what Manhattan fillets are, honestly, they're just the very center of a New York strip. They're made to look like a filet mignon, but they're meant to have more marbling and more fat, which makes it taste really, really good. These came from Snake River Farms, and they were great to work with. They had them frozen solid, tons of dry ice. They did it right, they shipped it right to the door. It came within, I wanna say it came within a week, something like that, and I just gave them the long thaw in the fridge. And now here we are. To get going on this American Wagyu, what we did was we seasoned it with a 50-50 mixture of kosher salt and coarse ground black pepper. Real simple seasoning. And then what we did was we got a cast iron skillet up to a good heat, put a tiny little bit of butter. You really don't need a lot of anything in the pan to cook these. These have so much marbling in it, they can actually just cook in their own fat. Truth be known, you really don't need to put any butter or any cooking spray or anything like that in your pan. I used a little bit of butter anyway, and I threw some thyme sprigs in there as these bad boys were cooking. And basically what we did was we just cooked them for an even amount of time on each side. I honestly wish that I kept a better track of this cook, because it wasn't like I seared it on one side, seared it on another side, and it was done. These steaks are really, really thick, and it took a little bit longer for them to get up to temperature. I don't know if that's because there's more marbling in there and that fat takes longer to render, which keeps the internal temperature down, but I do know that leaner steaks I've cooked quicker, so I'm willing to bet that's it. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I would love to understand why these took longer than other cuts of meat the same size. But regardless, we got them right up to about 137 is when I pulled these, which is just under medium, right between medium rare, which I absolutely love. And now I've got to get down on this. Holy mackerel. This is melting your mouth. This is unbelievable. Oh, crust. Man. Absolutely 100% melt in your mouth. That beef taste is great. I cannot believe this. You could probably cut this with a fork, honestly. Now, I'm gonna see if I can do that with this right here. And will you look at that? I just cut that with a fork. That's unbelievable, guys. The flavor just stays with you. It just stays on your tongue, stays all without. Wow. I can't believe this. It just melts. It is just absolutely incredible. Snake River Farms, good job, guys. Guys, this is an unbelievable cut of meat. It absolutely is. Definitely can see why it's favored, and I can see the price point too. That's unbelievable. Cutting steak with a fork, it's the first time for me. I got nothing else to say about this other than it was worth the purchase. I will say that. For some of you guys questioning, do I really want to go with American Wagyu? I haven't gone with the real deal Wagyu yet. I want to work my way up to that. I want to start with American Wagyu first and then get up into like the A4, A5 Wagyu and some good stuff like that. But I gotta tell you, I absolutely love this. This is really good. Definitely a step above Prime. I'll tell you that without a doubt. I've cooked Prime, and let me tell you, this is definitely a step above. This is really, really good. Might not be Wagyu, but it's definitely a step above Prime. I'll tell you that. But I gotta tell you guys, overall, impressed with Snake River Farms, impressed with Wagyu for my first time. It was a little bit of a learning experience cooking it, but I'm really happy with the result. I'm very happy with the result. This is one of the best. This is probably the best steak I've ever had. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably, I'm thinking hard here, but this is probably the best steak I've ever had. But anyway, guys, if you like what we're doing here on this channel, give us a subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you next time.